lovely ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between. Welcome to Cinetations, the show where we see whether a certain cinema holds up to our expectations.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm Lizard Breath, and I'm here with...
Bard.
And...
The Toast.
And today, I found this lovely little gem called Quakerz.
That's, Quakerz. Quakerz.
Say Z? He says, no, it's... Wait, did she spell it right?
Yes, I did.
She threw a lot of...
Quakerz?
She threw a lot of letters out there, and I couldn't keep up.
Oh, that's a sad face. Definitely a sad face.
So, how you like looking at it from this picture so far?
Just looking at the movie poster is kind of horrifying. Like, I know this is supposed to be a duck because of the name Quakerz, but it doesn't look like a duck.
He's a commando duck, all right.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like Native American / Rambo influence, and I don't know how I feel about that.
So you're not very confident.
I am not confident in this film at all.
All right.
Although the what looks to maybe be the villain in the background has caught my attention.
Okay.
Like this lady standing there maliciously.
Some strong cosplay potential.
Sure. Sure, buddy. Whatever you want.
Yeah, it could work.
Barely.
Well, let's, we see the picture here. Let's take a look at the trailer, see if it's as bad as we think it is.
Yeah.
Man, so how did that catch your attention?
You could not have asked that anymore with so many, how did that get your attention? Anyways, we're going to be like news media and pause at certain times when necessary to present you information of which is relevant. Thank you.
Did the trailer fit the name? And did it paint a picture?
It gave me a picture of someone who saw Kung Fu Panda and Madagascar and decided to put them together, but with ducks. That's the vibe I'm getting from the trailer.
That's a pretty damn good way of explaining it.
So going into here, how do you think the movie's going to play out?
Well, I mean, considering it's one of the... I haven't even really heard of this movie outside the fact that you found it, so...
I'm kind of surprised it's on Netflix.
Yeah, considering the other things they put on there, you think they'd, save room for things people will actually watch, but...
That's,
This is something, your 5-year-old randomly finds on Netflix and falls in love with,
and then you have to watch it
horrible
every day for, the next month.
Yes, until Netflix takes it down.
Yeah. Or until the CD accidentally breaks.
Or Netflix puts up the Trolls movie, and then that's the new addiction.
Which, oh, no. My first thought was the Troll Hunters, and that movie was actually kind of good.
No, I'm talking about the things with
I know what you're talking about.
The devil things.
So what's your expectation?
I expect it to have a million different plot elements that are all pass by way too quickly to enjoy them.
All these different things going on, none of it's addressed, and then everyone just kind of lives happily ever after in the end.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That's what the trailer felt like. We have 3,000 different things that we were going to cover.
I think it's going to be a solid 10.
All right.
For children's entertainment, maybe a 6. That's my expectation.
Well, technically, according to IMDb, if I read what I read right, it was a 3 out of 5.
Oh.
It made a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, well, we're not going by what Rotten Tomatoes thinks they know. We're going what we think we know.
Also, the movie itself looks as if it was a dub. Either if it's not a dub, then what it makes me think is it was just poorly lip-synced. But then again, let's watch the film to find out other things. Let us watch the film.
There we go.
Let's start it.
So, did the movie meet the cut?
Yeah, sure. Met the cut of being, what's the thing? I would watch Rodents 5 times again because it had something that was a coherent plot.
Yeah, like, I remember how I said, like, 6 out of 10 for, like, a children's...
Yeah.
No, this is, like, a 2 out of 10 for a children's film.
Well, we'll get to ratings here at the end. But, so, why don't you think it made it?
Okay, first and foremost, when you have a plot, you go about a plot having certain elements. You can go off the beaten path.
Sure.
You have a couple of side stories, make it all come back in.
Yeah,
you can go
everything
full
comes
circle.
together at the end.
That's fine. Don't go, all right, camera angle here, but I also want this. And did I think about this one? And I kind of want this thing too. And I want this subplot, this subplot, this subplot.
They threw in a random beatbox scene that had no relevance whatsoever.
That made no freaking sense to me.
I actually would have liked it better if the thieves would have had like some standoff with the police, like a beatbox beatdown kind of thing.
That would have been fine if it had some level of, besides comedic relief, some relevance.
Yeah.
Right. Like there wasn't. It wasn't off enough to like. They were on this off middle point where when they tried to have this cartoony release, it didn't work because it needed to go further this way in order to hold it more. It was like, here's our reality. Oh, by the way, cast iron is bendable.
Well, the other thing that I had trouble with is this movie looks like it was a storyboard that was literally just pieced together. They took the animatic and decided, we're not going to fill anything in. We're just going to throw this here.
A lot of it did look like it was stop motion, or at least it felt like this movie could have been better as that.
It would have definitely benefited from it. That or make it 2-dimensional.
That gets us into our CGI elements. I thought the sceneries, they put a lot of work into the sceneries.
They did.
Absolutely. It looked like this wonderful, almost like a steampunk fairy world is what it reminded me of.
Like,
and if they took out all of the bullshit that was
what era?
I don't know.
There wasn't enough steampunk to put it into that universe.
No, there wasn't. But then again, China isn't the place for steampunk.
No.
It's not.
And why? Okay, speaking of that, why was there this sense of conflicting? Conflicting views of how one country views the other.
We're gonna skip past how kind of like
racist.
How racist this might have kind of come off.
The fact that they have what they call them Mandarin ducks, and I looked up a Google image of what a Mandarin duck looks like.
Yeah.
And they look nothing like what is on the movie. In fact, they are actually yellow in the movie, and
I don't know if that went to that extent. I think it was more just connected with the whole sun thing.
But like
at least that's
the mallard ducks looked like mallard ducks.
Yeah.
So why didn't the Mandarin ducks look like Mandarin ducks? Because Mandarin ducks are really pretty.
Maybe they were too hard to animate.
Probably wouldn't have been that because that would have been just texturing. Your texturing could have been really good.
They have purple ducks and green and yellow cats. I think they can manage realistic coloring.
I mean, they had a cat that looked like a Pokemon, but then again...
How about some of that acting?
How about some of that lip syncing? If you think about... Okay, the acting for like a children's movie, it's gonna... From what I've seen, it's a little stiff. Just a little bit. And that's passable if everything makes sense and your child's not looking at it like, ugh.
Well, that goes into our next point. Did it make sense?
No. It's like you there was the plot there. The plot was there. You knew it was there. But there were so many miscellaneous things that didn't need to be there.
Lots of extra bits that could have been taken out. It could have been a 45-minute movie.
You know when we were talking about
hour and a half.
We were talking about The Walking Deceased, right? And you said that parts of it could have been cut out. Like 50% of the movie could have been cut out.
But at least in The Walking Deceased, like those parts that could have been cut out could have just been cut out to save time, but them as themselves still held.
Exactly. And this movie could have had 50% of it cut out because it just didn't need to be there. It wasn't helping the plot. It wasn't providing any coherent comedic relief.
Like
Nothing was necessary.
Everything was made of Jell-O.
Especially her tits.
There's jiggle physics on everything.
The stairs, jiggle physics. The metal, jiggle physics. Wood, Jigglefist.
Especially.
Nothing makes sense there. And then, like, the music...
The music was out of place, but
music-
I think there was one time where I was like, wow, the music kind of fits here. And it definitely wasn't one of the random, like, pop songs that they threw in.
Just as a side note, before we move into anything else, about that list of people who were for the music, good lord, it was
a big
bigger than the
orchestra.
entire
Lots
cast.
of people.
it was a big orchestra.
It was like as many people worked on music as worked on the rest of the production, like the animation and things almost.
What do you feel about plot development?
What development?
Well, you didn't think...
Well, I mean, there was a beginning and there was lots of different middle parts, and then eventually there was an end.
I didn't feel as much urgency when the son was being eaten.
No, you didn't feel, none of these characters had any development. The plot didn't have development.
Like, for a long movie, I wasn't brought into these characters.
No, these characters were shallow. They had nothing going for them. They weren't memorable.
They started off as stereotypes and just...
Kept as stereotypes.
Yeah, they disconnected you at the beginning from relating to these characters, and they just...
That's called stagnancy.
So no plot movement?
There was a straight moving path of a thing.
It was not a bell curve or whatever a plot normally is.
No,
like
it went
pyramid.
it just went straight through. Here's the mountain.
It didn't.
It just went
there wasn't even the climax rise.
No, it was just,
tunnel.
this is the roller coaster. Yay! And with all this bullshit that happened in the middle.
Yeah.
And you think about it, and you think, it's like, it could have worked if you had all this random stuff, if it would have made sense to implement it. All right, this is going to be, the reason why this is here is because this event's going to happen. And she's going to do this thing because he did this. And not on a stereotype level.
So we've seen some bad movies so far. What would you give this one in our... Because we thought Rodents was gonna be one of our worst ones so far.
I think this one's getting I think this one sits just a cent above it.
Really, you're gonna put this one higher than Rodents?
I feel like it has good visual qualities. Like, there were some times that, like, random CGI things would be, like, really good. There was one part where ramen noodles poured out of a pot, and for, like, half a second they looked really good, and then they came back to it and it looked really bad.
Right.
And the water effects, you mentioned, they would look really good, and then they would look really bad.
Oh, no, when you would move through them, they looked like oil.
Yeah.
And then in parts, it would look like you were moving through glass.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
Did the movie tie itself together? Did you feel any satisfaction in the end?
No, I was thoroughly disappointed.
I was glad it was over, and that was about it.
You feel a little sad now?
And this isn't to hate on the thing, but I've... Can
Let
I
me
just
hate on it.
Can I... No, screw that. I was going to do something, but then people might take offense to it. As much as I don't care.
I take offense to that.
All right, fine, whatever. As the director and as the people who made it, you think, I don't want to throw every single thing I can into this, but children are entertained by anything, so I guess all of these parts that we were going to originally throw out of the picture, we're going to throw them in there anyway, and you're not going to understand a damn thing about the film, and once it's done, you're going to be staring at the TV or whatever device you're looking at this on, you're going to be like, all right, going to bed.
Well, I mean,
going to bed.
It is free on Netflix, so I recommend watching. I give it a strong 10.
I don't remember what I gave Rodents or any of the other movies we've done, but I know this is lower than all of them. So I'm gonna give it like a 2, and if I've given something else a 2, then this is a 1 out of 10. Yeah, this is like if you've watched a really scary movie right before bed and you're like, I gotta watch something else so I can feel better.
Yeah.
And you just watch it, and it's not that it's good.
So
it's just something that's not.
So
evil.
if you watch this, I feel like I took it a different way. So you're saying if you need to get like the bad movie, like the scary movie out of your mind, watch this.
Yeah, it's like cat videos.
See,
like, there's no real point.
I thought
to
you
it.
said you need to watch something after this before you go to bed.
No. To me, in order to have satisfaction of watching a movie, I do have to watch something else that is nowhere near this atrocious.
So what would you give this one?
It lies like maybe a cent above Rodents.
Okay, number.
That it's like a really, really ugly decimal. It's like
so less than a 1?
No, because I think did I give rodents a 2 or a 1?
I don't know.
I can't remember what I gave. Well, like her, if I gave it a 2, then
You're
this thing
expecting
is like
someone to go back and find.
Yes, I am expecting someone to go back and find
leave
it.
us
All right,
a
well,
comment about it.
well, if Helios is editing.
Yeah, well, Helios can go find it, okay? So
Okay, so less than whatever rodents was for you. Less than whatever rodents was for you.
No. I said
It's higher than rodents?
Slightly. And
Okay.
it's only because of the visuals.
Are you higher or lower?
Lower.
Okay, so lower than rodents for you, slightly higher for
And
you.
the only reason that it gets that is because of the fact that it had decent visuals, and it put some effort. Rodents
Right.
didn't put any.
I'm just gonna give it a strong 10.
Oh, give it a strong 10.
Yeah. I recommend everybody watching it.
Oh, please don't.
Just-
Don't show it to your kids because for some weird reason, they're gonna love it.
And you'll be
wanna
stuck
watch
watching it
every day.
forever.
Oh no, they're gonna fall in love with the tits that went from to perky to droopy.
Yeah.
It's worse than Chop Kick Panda. Have you heard of Chop Kick Panda?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that was that.
So
Oof.
that was
Yeesh.
Quakerz.
No. I'm sorry. That movie sits below everything.
Last point though, it was interesting that they never actually just said Quakerz. It was always an
Quack job.
Yeah, it was always an extra play on word for something, but they never said the direct title, which is an interesting bit.
Is it?
Well, because normally it's somewhere in the film.
I would just.
It's like how the name of the song is somewhere in the song.
Well, the
Unless
director.
it's from Fall Out Boy or Panic at the Disco. It's like no.
All right.
No. You know, I'll just say this. Just one more thing. When the writers were thinking of a title, they had a dartboard, right?
Yeah.
They're just throwing things at such and what, they finally come down to a couple of.
I did like it was spelled with a Z.
Of course. That's how you get the kids.
Yeah.
You spell it wrong. And so they got the dartboard. And they have all these really, really nice names. And the intern barges into the door.
And goes, guys, I have it.
Quakerz.
And everyone just loses their mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I feel like the plot points were decided by some weird drawing of a card type thing. Like they have this stack of cards with possible plot points and they just pull 37 and go with it.
That could be fun though, to just be like, okay, here's a random thing. Let's pull out some stuff. Okay, here's our story now.
Okay, but they didn't make it make sense.
No, that's the thing. You can do that, and it can be great. And it reflects the competence of the people who make it. This didn't reflect any competence at all.
They tried.
You're funny. You're a funny man.
They put a try in there.
They put 1.5 tries and got back 0.25 tries back.
Well, let's see what we can see for next time.
All right, you all have a fantastic whatever time it is.
Thanks for being here.
Join us.
Then join us next time where we see if a certain cinema holds up to our expectations.